From PNC Park in Pittsburgh tonight, the Pittsburgh Pirates host the Miami Marlins in Game 2 of their 4-game series on a fireworks night in the Burgh. The Buccos fell to the fish last night. They're looking to bounce back tonight. Greg Brown, Steve Blass, Dan Potash are with you. And the big news of the day, Tony Watson is no longer the closer, at least for the time being. The plug is being pulled, as Clint Hurdle likes to say. Felipe Rivero and Juan Nicasio will now share those duties in the 9th inning, Steve.
Yeah, and Greg, it's just the reality of the situation. It wasn't working for Tony recently, so you've got some other options. I think everybody is fascinated to find out what Rivera can do as a closer, because his stuff is so electric. Juan Nicasio, of course, very dependable. So for the time being, that's the way it's going to line up. Keep in mind, this is a very, very good bullpen, a lot of strong arms, so we expect success to come, and it'll be interesting as we find out as it goes along who's going to stay and how that thing might ebb and flow.
Very important for the starting pitching to go as deep as it can tonight. That's Tyler Glasnow. The rookie on the hill makes his 12th start of the season. It's a Friday Night Rocks. It's Glasnow on the bump. The fish in town. Game 2 of the series. First pitch coming up next.
It's Friday night, you got the weekend right. Everything will be alright if we make it on time. I'll see you, it's Friday, our best friends. Back in the city of bridges, the city of bridges. We've got so much time. Tonight, we're gonna live it up tonight. Forget about my whole life, it's not forever. Just tonight. It's not forever, just tonight. No, not tonight. It's not forever, just tonight. Oh, yeah, tonight.
Featured artist, Eterna Boy, and Friday Night Rocks on Root Sports, presented by IC Light. The Buccos and the Marlins Ivan Nova, good to see him dancing.
Yeah, he's ready to rock.
He's going to pitch on Sunday, and Andrew McCutchen, he's also ready. Jacob Stallings makes his first start in the big leagues this season. You know that Francisco Cervelli is on the 7-day concussion DL, and Elias Diaz is going to get the bulk of the catching until Cervelli returns. But Stallings gets the call, and he has caught Glasnow in the past in the minor leagues. The lineup for Don Mattingly's Miami Marlins. D. Gordon getting ready. Then Carlos Stanton will follow. Then it's Christian Yelich and Marcell Ozuna. Derek Dietrich last night, a 3-hit game for him. Tyler Moore's at first base. J.T. Riddle at short. Veteran A.J. Ellis catches former Pirate Van Swirly.
Beautiful night for baseball. Beautiful night for a Pirate win after 3 really disappointing losses. The 2 in Baltimore, and then last night's loss against the Fish. But it'll be start number 12 for right-hander Tyler Glasnow. There you see the overall numbers. The last 2 starts have not gone well for him. He's worked a total of 10 innings and given up 9 earned runs. So, you know, I don't really know what's happening with Tyler Glasnow. I'll be very honest with you, Greg. He's shown signs of what he's capable of doing, but he's really struggled mightily. And with Jameson Taillon coming back next week, this could be a very important start for him. And who knows, because it's going to be a 5-man rotation. It's going to be a 5-man electrical band.
Yeah, they're not going to go with 6.
Nope, they're not going to go with 6. And who's going to be the odd man out?
Well, here is D. Gordon to lead things off for the Marlins. And a first pitch strike. We have talked about it, I think, probably through his 11 previous starts this season. We probably talked about it. His 4 starts last year, how important that first pitch strike is. It's always important to any big league starter, but it seems particularly important for a guy like Tyler Glasnow. And there's a strike at 97. Sam Holbrook is the crew chief. He calls the balls and strikes with Greg Gibson at first, Jim Wolf at second, and DJ Rayburn at third.
Good to see 97 miles an hour.
Bounce foul. Steve, that's the one thing that for some reason it isn't discussed a lot, but I'll ask you, how important is that? We see a lot of the 93, 94, but only see glimpses of the 97, 98, but can't that be a big separator?
Yeah, it is, and you want him throwing 97. He's big and strong. He's capable of doing that, and a lot of guys use finesse. This guy's a power guy. You want to see the 97-mile-an-hour fastball.
Line drive, 96 past the third baseman David Freese. So D. Gordon with the leadoff single. Gordon led off with a bunt hit last night against Garrett Cole, and he will run.
Yeah, and that interesting sequence too, because he pulled the previous ball foul, and he is able to stay with this enough. You know, he's got a short stroke. I mean, that's his game, is to put the ball in play, protect the plate, not have a big swing. And you got an example of that. That was a good at bat by D. Gordon, and you got to watch him. And this young batter, even though Glasnow and Stallings have worked together, it's still a very young battery. And well, the thing is, Gordon's going to run against everybody.
Yeah.
So you take that out of the equation. The only other real threat is Yelich. So I wouldn't expect to see a lot unless it just gets crazy early.
There he goes. Taken for a strike. Throw down is strong, but late. And stolen base number 21 on the year for D. Gordon. Third in the league coming in. Billy Hamilton of the Reds with 28. Trey Turner the Nationals with 21.
You could see the huge jump. Not much Jacob Stallings could do. He did his part. He made a good throw, got rid of the ball. His mechanics are good, but D. Gordon was simply out of the gate too early.
Is he out, you think? The Pirates might be looking at that. A Barrel Automotive league leader stat at the moment, it's 21, but Pirates, it's early. They're taking a long look.
It was good work by Jacob Stallings for sure.
Yeah, they want to challenge.
Okay, well, that could be huge.
Tom Prince on the phone to Kevin Roach, who's in the clubhouse watching all the different angles that they have available, that we have available.
That would be a real compliment to Jacob Stallings, because it was a very strong jump. it's certainly worth a look. So, well, we hope we get the call. That's simple as that.
Josh Bell, Josh Harrison, and D. Gordon look up at the video board. Jacob Stallings goes to the mound to watch with Glass now. Now the thing is, did he get him on the elbow first? I think that's the critical part of that play. If he got him on the elbow, then I think he is out.
And the foot was down, and he got him away from the foot, so up on the body. Tell any more from this? Boy, that is so close. I don't know if it's. I shouldn't say. I don't know. It looks like it might be too close to overturn.
He did not get him on the elbow there from that angle.
You'd love to remove any amount of clutter from Taylor Glasnow's approach as you can, and this would get rid of some clutter for sure.
Well, they're on the headsets now. Jim Wolf at second, and the crew chief Sam Holbrook back with the umpires in New York, and they've come to a decision. He's out. Wow.
Huge call for the Pirates.
All overturned. Gordon was certain, even watching that video replay, asking where the tag was.
All he does is
caught stealing just the third time this season, as you said, Steve. A big shot in the arm for Glasnow and for Stallings.
Yep. And all D. Gordon got was a smile from the umpire heading back over to first base.
So it's a caught stealing for Jacob Stallings.
And a big shot in the arm for Stallings, too.
Yeah.
To get that kind of speed. Terrific.
2-1 on Stanton. Glasnow needs to take advantage if he can. Having that speedster off of second base, who's going to be there with nobody out. Now he, of course, can go into the full windup. That sounds like a broken bat. Fly ball toward Frazier. Going to hang up for him. And 2 outs. Those are the strength of Stanton.
So the whole half inning turns around to this point.
Let's watch. Way in. Broke his bat.
Still got it almost to the warning track. He is that strong.
Good look on the Allegheny Health Network Supermo. And now Christian Yelich. A 3-hit game last night. Marlins scored 3 times in the first inning, sent 7 men to the plate against Garrett Cole. '97. We've seen at least 3 good fastballs from Glasnow.
You know, and watching him, it's more pronounced when he's working against a right-hand batter, but he comes from the side a little bit. He'll get out there on your screen to the right part of your screen and then come back around.
Oh, man right there. Wow, what a turn of events.
The play that made a difference.
You think he's a fan of replay?
Yeah.
Thought he had the stolen base.
Continue to discuss it with Jim Wolf
Moments ago. The scoreboard here showed a close-up. They zoomed in on the elbow as if he had been tagged on the elbow, and I think he saw that replay and he thinks that's the reason he was called out. But as we could plainly see, it wasn't the elbow, it was on the side.
Yeah. But there is a happy young man, and it's amazing how little things can affect a young player, that make you feel good about what you're doing instead of, oh, here we go again.
Yeah.
That's so that I don't know how it's going to play out, but for the moment, that was a good thing, really good thing.
So contrast in styles on the mound tonight with the youngster Glass now and the veteran Worley faces Adam Frazier.
Vance Worley did some good work for the Pittsburgh Pirates.
That ball hit well toward left center field. Long run for Yelich. That's going to drop. And into second base with a stand-up double goes Adam Frazier.
And that ball was in the air forever, but it was so perfectly placed that neither Yelich nor Ozuna could catch up to it, and it had enough carry to keep going. But boy, I was holding my breath because he hit it well, but it was very, very high. You can see the separation of the two outfielders and the 410 sign, which became involved.
Ozuna looks like he slowed down there, doesn't it?
It did a little bit. It did.
Again, the Pirates will take it. 6 doubles for Frazier as the Pirates look to jump on Vance Worley. Here's Josh Harrison. 6-game hitting streak going for him. And he right away launches one into right field. Well, what a better start this is. Jay into second base. 1-0 Pirates. 2 swings into the first inning.
Well, a feel good ball game so far. That's the way to start. Scoreless top of the first. Double for all your trouble. 1-0 Bucks.
Give Josh Harrison a 7-game hitting streak and now 20 ribbies on the season. He'll exchange places with Frazier. Double. 2 pitches in, and now here's Gregory Polanco.
Yeah, and you want to push the ball to that side to move Frazier. That's really pushing it over there and getting it done. And then some.
Polanco, a fly ball to left. He wanted to pull it, but he's not able to do that. So the runner will not move. Well, went quickly there. We'll have to now catch you up on the rest of the RAV4 starting lineup for the Pirates. David Freese coming to the plate. Josh Bell will bat 5th. Andrew McCutchen, Jordy Mercer, Jacob Stallings, Tyler Glass now. Who, by the way, is 5 out of 15 at the plate this season. Keep that in mind.
And Vance Worley making his 4th start, and he's been knocked around the first 3 starts.
And now they get a ground ball to second, but 1 batter too late. Harrison does move up 90 feet. '29-year-old Vance Worley.
This is his 5th appearance. As we said, he's had 3 starts, 1 trip out of the bullpen. 6.59 ERA. Vance Worley, I think I have it right, 19 starts for the Pirates back in 14 and 15. 9-3 with an ERA under 3. So had his moments with the Bucks.
Josh Bell can deliver after 2 quick hits, 2 quick outs for Worley. So he'll feel better if he gets Bell. 6 pitches into the first. Tyler Glass now barely got back to the dugout. And it is 1-1 on Josh Bell. John Jaso started at first in last night's game. Bell came in late. Check out the Honda defense. Marcell Ozuna, Christian Yelich, Giancarlo Stanton in the outfield left to right. Derek Dietrich, JT Riddle on the left side. D. Gordon and Tyler Moore on the right side of the infield. A.J. Ellis catches. And Bell with a fly ball to center. For the out. Well, the Bucks lead 1-0 after one. PNC Park. We're going to get to our Rivers Casino tips to win from Steve.
Yeah, Glasnow versus the 2, 3, and 4 batters of the Marlins. That's Stanton, Yelich, and Ozuna. That's the heart of the lineup. So you want to see how he matches up against them. Also, an early lead, which we have 1-0, because you want a comfort level for a young pitcher. As you see Adam Frazier scoring that first run. But you want Glasnow to be comfortable, and he got comfortable after the call at second base, and that settled him down. So you don't want a lot of stress and negative stuff going on early in the game. Let him get his feet on the ground without having given up anything or too much, and then see where that takes him. So far, so good. We got the lead. He's working against the third of those 2, 3, 4 hitters, Ozuna, who has racked up some pretty impressive numbers.
He's 8th in the league in hitting, currently at .322. He's tied for 7th with 15 homers. The Marlins left fielder. One ball, one strike. Ozuna had been center fielder, and he got hurt. Christian Yelich moved to center, and then when Ozuna came back, he kept Yelich in center field and Ozuna in left, and that was appeared to be in on him at 98. He fights it off for a hit. So a couple of strong men. Stanton hit that broken bat fly ball to pretty deep left, and now with this pitch coming in on Ozuna, he's able to muscle it into left.
You see that front foot get out of the way and open him up a little bit, so he's able to pull the ball. A lot of times at 98 they'll push the ball the other way, but he got the front foot, the left foot out of the way, and that allowed him to maybe set up a stance at contact that was more comfortable for him to pull, or easier for him to pull.
Derek Dietrich had a 3-hit game last night. A couple of doubles, drove in a pair. He sees the third baseman Freeze playing deep and at the shortstop position. That bunt hit was there for the taking. Strike one.
Yeah, and this is the kind of situation where you wonder, these left-hand batters, you've got your leadoff man on. You just push the ball that way, and you have set up your team for some work to be done, some opportunity. So you've got a third baseman that is playing shortstop, and a pitcher that follows through toward first base.
And this is going to be a base hit into right center and misplayed by Polanco. So Osuna goes to third. We'll have to see how they rule this.
I was watching Ozuna. It didn't look like he had committed to going to third base, but I couldn't be sure. I thought I saw him kind of giving the body language like he was going to hold up. That pitch right there in that hitting zone. There's the runner at first base coming in. Yeah, he's going. Oh, nope, I was wrong. He was committed to go, so he was going to be there anyway.
So there will be no error on the play then.
I saw the hesitation early. He was making sure the ball was on the ground, and then he just committed.
It's first and third, no one out, and the batter is Tyler Moore. Glasnow, the Pirates getting a bit of a break in that. Players like Justin Bour, the power hitting first baseman and a left-handed bat. He is on the disabled list, so Moore filling in there at first. Derek Dietrich, a utility man, playing third base. Martin Prado is on the disabled list. And Jacob Stallings toward first.
Didn't Bour have a big game, the third game of the series down in Miami?
Yep.
Huge game. Yep.
Don Mattingly, skipper of these Marlins, former Yankee great, and
talking about
Dodger
people,
manager.
Talk about people that get it.
Yeah.
Donnie Mattingly gets it. I mean, he gets the whole picture of this industry.
Hit deep enough to score a run. And that'll tie the game on a sacrifice fly by Tyler Moore. He was 2 for 4 and had a pair of ribbies last night. So back to even. One. Moore goes the other way and brings in Osuna from third.
Not all bad to get that first out, and don't let it be a run. You got the first two guys that reach base by the base hit. Even though it costs you, get an out. Find a way to get that first out.
JT Riddle is playing shortstop. Adeiny Echeverria is on the disabled list for a second time this season.
Prado's out also.
Yep. Mentioned Prado, Bour, Echeverria, Riddle. 7-1 win for the Fish last night. Riddle had an RBI single. He was the last man that Cole faced. Ball one. Edinson Volquez said he had better stuff last night than he did the previous start when he no-hit the Diamondbacks. 7 innings of 3-hit shutout ball.
He was in charge of that ball game last night, Greg. He was making it look easy.
And a ground ball, base hit into right. Another fastball, and Riddle singles into right field. So 3 hits, a fly ball to deep right, and it brings up A.J. Ellis.
He went down and got that ball, so a decent pitch from Glasnow. Good piece of hitting by Riddle. Riddle me that.
Yeah.
Hit that good pitch downstairs.
No joking. So now first and second after they had first and third and the sacrifice fly by Moore. Ellis hitting .209.
And Greg, we've talked so many times about Tyler Glasnow. Part of his education evolving as a major league pitcher, minimize damage. So he's down at the bottom of the batting order now, and you want it to remain a 1-1 ball game when you come in to hit in the bottom of the second.
And the block by Stallings at breaking ball, tried to throw a great one.
And it wasn't.
Bounced it well in front of the plate.
54-footer. And you got a very tall catcher who goes down to get that ball. He'd probably be the easiest catcher in the big leagues to be able to call for a high fastball.
Elias Diaz, the other rookie catcher now on the Pirates 25-man roster. And excuse me, foul ball. Veteran A.J. Ellis in his first year with the Marlins. Garrett Cole talking about that curveball.
Yep. Trouble with the curve. We've all had it, including Clint Eastwood.
Yeah. One ball, one strike. Another broken bat. I'm just going to get one out on this one. And 2 away. It'll bring up Vance Worley. Broken bat bouncer. 3-1 put out. And it's time for the AARP getting to know the Pirates, and in this case catcher Jacob Stallings, drafted by the Bucks 7th round 2012 out of the University of North Carolina. In his junior season there, he threw out 32 base stealers. That set a new school record. Made his big league debut with the Pirates last season. Not much playing time, but 6 out of 15 at the plate, and a memorable walk-off single in the 11th inning against the Nationals in September. And off the glove of Freese, doesn't know where it is, and the Marlins take the lead. It'll be a base hit for Worley and an RBI to bring home Dietrich. It's 2-1.
Worley just smoked that ball. He was 1 for 3, just 3 at bats, but he was looking for a pitch, got it, and just handcuffed.
Wow.
David Freese. He hit that ball hard. A legitimate call. Too hot to handle at third base. Just where you want to be in the lineup with runners at second and third and 2 outs. It just did not work.
So back to the top of the order, and D. Gordon. Vance Worley picks up career RBI number 8. Gordon slapped that single to left field to lead off the ball game. Vance Worley picks up the RBI on a hard hit ground ball off of David Freese's glove, and now he has the lead. And over at third base, Riddle.
Showing Gordon something other than the fastball to get out in front 0-2. And here's where you want to finish the inning off and finish the at bat off, but again, don't throw that 54-foot curveball again. Be alert and back at home plate for Jacob Stallings.
Here it comes, and there goes Worley on a fly ball to right. Vance Worley taking off on the 0-2 pitch. Well, the Marlins score a couple. They're now up 2-1.
Sports is brought to you by Allegheny Health Network, the largest health system rated #1 in the region for all the things that matter most. And by Kenny Ross Subaru, total confidence pricing. Let's go Bucks!
Well, this has the early makings of a wild one for young and old alike here at PNC Park. Oh,
I got
you
my ticket.
You keep that as a souvenir. That's Worley. That ball off of David Freese, and Freese got back to the dugout. Oh, where'd that come from? Vance Worley hit. Now Andrew McCutchen, he takes a strike. Worley threw only 9 pitches in that first inning, faced 5 batters. Edinson Volquez looking toward the Pirates dugout, having fun with some of the Pirate players, and Garrett Cole maybe specifically.
There goes the hand grenade. Yeah, I can hit you one time. Volquez over it. There's nothing more fun than being a major league pitcher the day after you win, and win impressively.
Yeah. And that's 2 straight, right?
Yeah, 2 straight. And actually, it started with a good start against the Phillies before the no-hitter, and he was 0-7. I mean, you talk about finding something falling into place, something meshing for a pitcher. 0-7, and now he's 3-7. You look like, oh, he's terrible, but his last 3 starts have been dynamite.
Andrew McCutchen, a leadoff walk.
And that's fairly rare because Worley usually has pretty good control. In fact, just 4 walks in his time so far.
Here's Jordy Mercer. Vance Worley was with the Nationals in spring training. Let go the end of March, just before the start of the season. Signed by these fish. Mercer, a couple of at-bats against Volquez last night, a couple of strikeouts. Pirates collected a total of 4 hits. They scored their run in the 9th inning.
Just talking about that Volquez run that he's had, he's given up 1 run in his last 3 starts. Veteran A.J. Ellis talking to the veteran Vance Worley.
Jeff Locke will pitch on Sunday. He was talking to members of the Pittsburgh area media before the game.
And a couple of broadcasters had a chance to visit. Joe interviewed him. I had a chance to say hello. The newly married Jeff Locke. Married in the offseason.
Congratulations.
Up in New Hampshire. Actually up in Maine. Still lives in New Hampshire.
Well, Worley has fallen behind Mercer 3-0.
I wonder if AJ was at the wedding. I wouldn't be surprised.
I would imagine. Batman and Robin when they were here at the Pirates. And that was Robin. Three and 1. The Vanimal, the veteran righty.
You know who that is when you get that close up. That's Vance Worley. And there's no question.
Mercer toward right center. Stanton. 1 out. Enjoy a summer afternoon at the ballpark tomorrow. Pirates and Marlins. It's a 4:05 start. Come early for the block party on Federal Street. Bob Robertson will be out there signing autographs. First 20,000 fans get a Pirates t-shirt thanks to Sheets. Head to pirates.com/free shirt Saturday for your tickets.
Hey there, redhead.
Bob Robertson.
He's a redhead too, Bob Robertson. Yeah, okay, it all fits.
There's always our director always has something in mind. Pete Weber, he was on that. Pete Toma. I got no reaction in the truck just now. Nothing.
No,
They're stunned.
My head went around like Linda Blair in The Exorcist.
That was my Bowie Kuhn moment. Pete Weber, the Nashville Predators announcer. A good buddy. And congratulations to the Pens last night. Now one away from back-to-back Stanley Cups.
That was impressive last night.
A little rusty, Steve. Feels weird.
Tell me about it.
Thanks to Rob King, by the way, for pinch hitting last night. It is weird. I mean, it's just weird being away. You know, you get in the flow. Yeah, you know that a lot, right?
Do I ever? Last night I come to the ballpark. Okay, let's see how this works now. Okay, got to do a lineup. Let's see, it's sponsored. Okay, hope I don't mess up the lineups. That's the biggest part of my job.
Well, yeah, you go through that all year long. Teams away for a week, home for a week.
I know.
On average, so it's tough to get back in the flow. But we were quick and clean with our open, weren't we?
Yeah, the fifth time. Yep, fifth time we did it.
Sorry about that.
Yep.
We caught the skit.
Yep, we finished it up with 2 outs in the first.
Yep. Jacob Stallings hit .259 at AAA this season. His first start in the big leagues this year, his 4th career start. You know by now, the son of the Pitt basketball coach. And he's caught looking. Leadoff walk, but Vance Worley gets Mercer to fly out and strikes out Stallings.
A little cutter, a little slider on the outside corner.
The Friday Night Rocks. Terry's on it. Yep, there he is.
Oh, yeah. He's rocking all week long.
How about Tyler Glass now? 5 for 15, a .333 average.
Oh, here's that guy that was chasing my record, huh?
Yes, that's
Gets
right.
for a pitcher.
Yep. In one game.
I checked him out. 3 knocks.
We've talked about that only a handful of pitchers in the last 50 years for the Pirates have had as many as 3 hits in a game, and just 4 hits in a game. That was Steve. The single season record for a Pirates pitcher since 1974, as this ball fouled off sharply in terms of hits in a season. Jim Rooker had 29 in 1974. The most hits by a Pirates pitcher since that year. Jim Rooker. Glass now has 5 and takes 1 and 2 from Worley. He's also drawn 4 walks, by the way. It's the most by a Pirates pitcher in 9 years. Not at bat, however, as he strikes out looking. So a walk, and Worley gets the next 3. 2-1 Fish.
where the Marlins have a 2-1 lead. And even though Garrett Cole had a tough night at the ballpark last night, he had every reason to wake up this morning with a big smile. That's because Garrett and his wife Amy spent the morning, or I should say an afternoon, at the Pittsburgh's Children's Institute. The two spending time with about 7 or 8 children, getting a chance to sit down, talk, maybe even a little arts and crafts. Quality time with these youngsters, which is always good to see. In fact, this entire visit will be profiled on next weekend's edition of Inside Pirates Baseball. And actually, guys, Garrett and his wife are going to be busy this weekend.
Sunday night, Dan, Uncorked for a Cause at Siena Mercado downtown. And you can still be a part of it. It benefits Pirates Charities and the Children's Institute. A bunch of the Pirates players will be on hand. And, of course, Garrett and Amy, their charity event this Sunday night. Go to uncorkedforacause.com for tickets. There's the specially made exclusive Garrett Cole Red Blend that will be available, and many others.
Yeah, great turnout last year.
Yeah.
We expect it to be the same this coming Sunday. We'll be there just to make sure everything goes well.
You have to have a couple broadcasters on hand.
Well, absolutely. Yeah, quality control.
Giancarlo Stanton takes ball 1.
Our tips to win here is the threesome that I was wondering how he's going to fare against. Tough matchups.
It's toward the seats bell. Star Wars night last night, tonight superheroes. Oh no, just a couple of youngsters.
Is that the Hulk? That's the Hulk on the right, isn't it?
That is the Hulk, and that is Iron
other
Man
guy,
on the left.
Yeah. The other guy.
Stanton is Hulk-like. Here's another fastball again. I mean, it doesn't matter how hard you throw if you're not locating and you're not throwing your other pitches, but still, I think personally anyway, it's a good sign that he's throwing that hard again.
Yes, and that's his strength. I mean, he's a power guy.
And a fly ball to center field deep. How far is this going to get out of here? Wow! Over the batter's eye! Oh my goodness! That is a tape measure shot and one of the biggest blasts ever here at PNC Park.
The tail of the tape is going to be in mileage.
Wow. Giancarlo Stanton, it was hard for him to hide the grin.
Right next to our camera location.
Wow. Right by Chad Wilson. Wow.
And Troy's up there. Unbelievable. I've not seen anything like that. Over the batter's eye. Looked like to be a hanging breaking ball.
Wow.
Right off the top. Right off the top of the batter's eye. I thought it had cleared it at first.
And with room, maybe Frazier. And that was a fair ball, as it turns out. Hit by Yelich the other way for the first out. Estimated 449-foot blast by Giancarlo Stanton.
That's all. You see the curveball stay up, and he just is that strong. I think Andrew just turned around and admired it.
Yeah.
The rest of us. Number 11 given up by Glasnow.
There's a line drive off the bat of Marcell Ozuna.
So that's threesome, the matchup. And you see what Stanton did. Yelich hit it pretty well, and Ozuna just ripped it.
16th of the year for Stanton to give the Marlins the 3-1 lead. Another look at the Giancarlo Stanton.
You see the bounce
blast
right off the top. Milwaukee would have been proud to throw that one.
Boy. I was a little bit surprised that it wasn't estimated.
Yeah.
More like 460, 470 maybe.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
To right field, Polanco.
Yeah, because it's 400 to straightaway center, and that wall is, you know,
Yeah,
quite a ways in back of the wall, and then you factor in the height. If that ball had carried, if there wasn't a wall there, it would still been gaining a little ground.
So that will not rank up even in the top 10 all time here.
Well, to me it did. By the way, I thought Troy had a play on the ball, but he couldn't get over to his right quite far enough.
Steve, you remember the one that Sammy Sosa hit under the that security shed
over that rounded
and that
roof.
was like 464, I believe. No, that was 484.
There it is, right there.
So if it hit the top of that shed.
Shed is quite a way in back of the batter's eye, so I'll give Sammy his due, but I don't think Stanton got his due on that estimate. Of course, we can't question numbers anymore.
It had a lot to do, I guess, with the launch angle.
Oh, well, that's what I forgot.
Yeah. So Tyler Moore hit the sacrifice fly last inning. For Glass now, by the way, it's the 11th home run he's given up. This is his 12th start this season. Just a solo homer, that's important to point out. As impressive as it was, still just counts as one run. But this one might be more than just one run. That's a line drive, 2-run homer by Tyler Moore. That's his third, and it is 5-1 Marlins. They have hit some bullets off of Glass now, and especially here in the third inning. The high towering home run by Stanton over the batter's eye, and this line drive dinger to left.
And again, a 0 put up by Glasnow in the first inning, and then immediate troubles after that in the second, and now the third. And here comes Ray Searage. That ball elevated, and you can hear the crack of the bat.
That pitch was right down the middle. Ray Searage trying to encourage Tyler Glass now.
And on top of everything else, Greg, if you start averaging a home run per start, it's not a good track.
Giancarlo Stanton and Tyler Moore here in the third. The batter now is J.T. Riddle.
And once again, proving that major league hitters can catch up with speed. It's as simple as that. So you either got to have a downward plane, or you got to have some movement on it. You can throw it hard, but it's got to be doing something instead of going up there kind of flat. Of course, the best thing, you can throw hard like that and flat, but then you got to hit spots. So I mean, it's not easy, but you got to find one of those ways to get it done. And it still comes down to making pitches where you throw the ball inside the strike zone. There's a lot of room inside a strike zone, and you can't stay in the middle of it. You know, you see a guy when a guy is in control like Volquez was the other night. You see awkward swings. You see guys out in front or guys too late. The swings last night and the swings tonight, they're not fooled. I mean, they're on it. They're on it. They're getting the good swings. They're not off balance.
Well, we'll go back to what the Pirates talked about when Glasnow was awarded that 5th spot in the rotation, or one of the 5 spots. And the Pirates said that really there was nothing else he could accomplish at AAA. And this ball hit well to center field. And McCutchen will make the catch in front of the warning track. 2 big home runs. Stanton and Moore, 5-1 Fish. David Day and family, one of our bug operators here on Root Sports. Allegheny Health Network injury update. Jameson Taillon on a bullpen session today. You know, he pitched the other night in Toledo, and Clint Hurdle was talking earlier this afternoon about the Taillon, and if he got out of this bullpen session okay, he's feeling good. That the plan would be to plug him back into the starting rotation sometime early next week. Pirates have not announced their rotation for the Rockies series that begins on Monday night. There's Jameson Taillon with Trevor Williams. Williams has pitched very well his last couple starts. He'll go tomorrow afternoon. And now Frazier towards center field, and Yelich tracks it down. Quick out here in the bottom of the 3rd. As Josh Harrison comes to the plate, we remind you to vote for your Pirates to be 2017 All-Stars with the Esurance MLB All-Star Game ballot. Vote at pirates.com/vote. Catch all the excitement of the 88th MLB All-Star Game in Miami, presented by MasterCard, July 11th, live on Fox. And they are wearing the patches. Vance Worley gave up a 1st inning run and 2 pitches. A Frazier double, a Harrison double. And since then, one man has reached. That was Andrew McCutchen leading off the 2nd with a walk.
But prior to tonight, 13 innings in his 3 starts and 10 earned runs.
And J.A., the only thing unusual about Harrison getting hit, not the fact that he gets hit because he's among the league leaders, but the location of that pitch.
It wasn't on his foot or down around the ankle, knee, as they like to say, lower body injury.
Harrison plunked this time on the elbow. On the funny bone, maybe. Talking to Greg Gibson about it.
Byplay.
Josh Harrison hit for the 11th time. Anthony Rizzo of the Cubs has been hit a dozen times to lead the league. This is a bat the Pirates absolutely have to get going.
Yep.
Polanco knows it. He's in that 3 spot of the order for a reason. He has fared well in his career against the Marlins. You'd think this would be a good matchup. He's in the hole 0-2.
I'm going out on the limb, Greg. We're going to win this ball game. This ball game.
I like it.
This ball game is not over. I got the feel that the Pirates are going to do some scoring. You just don't want to let the Marlins get too far down the road. That guy just got everybody's attention. When you hit the ball, well, almost over the batter's eye, I mean, he came within a foot of clearing it. That is something else. That is what they call those majestic home runs, high and deep, and you have a long time to appreciate them or suffer through them.
1-2 on Polanco.
I remember a young Giants player named Willie McCovey that used to hit those kind of shots. Just towering.
Stargell used to do that too.
Yep,
He'd share line drive homers, but Willie hit those high, towering, majestic home runs.
Yep, and so is our guest you were talking about, Bob Robertson, hit the high long taters.
Another guy, a former Pirate that used to play right field, hit from the left side. His home runs were more line drives. Gap hitter Dave Parker celebrating a birthday today.
Number 66 for the Cobra. Happy birthday, David.
2-2 on Polanco.
He had himself an all-star game, didn't he?
1979 was it?
The throws,
Yeah.
I think.
In Seattle. Yep.
They're both in the same game or different
Same
years?
game.
Yeah.
There's a drive hit deep, but it's going to be a foul ball. It probably wasn't going to be home run distance, but yeah, the Cobra was fun to watch, an intimidating left-handed batter. You see the line drive home run at Three Rivers. This one at the old Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. In San Diego.
So strong, very strong man.
Happy birthday to Dave Parker. We'll get into another former Pirates birthday a little bit later on. 3-2 on Gregory Polanco. And
Greg, I got a little.
Thought that was ball 4. Apparently, he was ready to take off the sleeve, but it's just ball 3, and he's trying to hold back the smile himself.
I was looking at the wrong column. Worley did have some control problems just last start. 5 innings, 3 walks. I didn't look at that. Just looked at the total number. And he hasn't pitched that much, but 3 last time.
There is ball 4. Say Osuna and Ivan Nova watching as Worley walks his second, and he hit Harrison moments ago. Now faces David Freese.
Still having some problems, or just some folks flying the river? Looks like that could be a bunch of visitors to our great city. And what a way to get a look at the city. Gateway Clipper Fleet.
Ball and a strike on Freese.
Couple things you have to do when you come to the city of Pittsburgh. You got to get on the Gateway Clipper and you got to take an incline or two. And then those are just starters. Get the feel of the city. Go for it. A lot to see, a lot to visit. Not the least of which is #1's museum, the Clementi Museum down the strip. Don't miss that.
One and two.
David not crazy about the call, nor is his manager. Let's take a look. Well, pitcher's going to get those calls a good bit of the time.
Home umpire Sam Holbrook. Big 1-2 pitch due to Freeze. Now gets it back to even. 21 RBIs for Freeze. Pirates down 4. Facing Vance Worley, who makes his 4th start of the season for the Marlins.
They picked him up in April.
A broken bat pop up to shallow center field, and it drops in for a hit. And boy, that is a great read from Josh Harrison.
Yes, indeed.
Wow, 5-2.
Exactly right. He called it right in his mind, and the body took off.
Big RBI for Freeze. Another broken bat in this ball game. And this one produces a Pirate run.
Was strong enough to push it out past the shortstop. You see Josh Harrison never hesitating, flying. He was gambling, and he had the edge, the gambler's edge there.
Well, Josh Bell flied out to center fielder Christian Yelich to end the first. Jay Hay hit by the pitch. No doubt in his mind that ball was going to drop.
Run into one here, Josh.
That was in on him, and it's out of play off to the right. Good look at Harrison.
Just one quick look back of him, reassuring himself, and off to the races.
Back in the dugout after scoring the second run. Worley's given up a couple of home runs this season. Bell with the 11 so far. And we talked last week about the fact that he's approaching the all-time Pirates rookie mark set by Ralph Kiner of most home runs by the All-Star break. And now a team meeting on the mound, it seems. The middle infielders, A.J. Ellis and Worley. Worley pitched for the Orioles last year. Made 4 starts. Gave up 11 homers in 87 innings.
29-year-older from Sacramento, California.
Came to the big leagues with the Phillies. And now a 2-1 count on Bell.
Didn't he have a really good early year, 11-3 or something like that with the Phillies?
2011. 9-pitch first inning, but 21 so far here in the third. Line drive, base hit. Now Polanco had to hold on the liner, so that loads them up for Andrew McCutchen. Andrew McCutchen has spoken recently about the couple things that are on his bucket list as we take another look at the swing of Josh Bell on the Allegheny Health Network Super Bowl and this right field angle. loading the bases. McCutchen came to the plate with the bases loaded in the first inning. 2 outs last night against Edinson Volquez. And Steve, you're talking about the great pitch that Volquez threw him for strike 3.
Yeah, I thought it was a gutsy pitch. Of course, he was ahead in the count. I think it was 1-2, but he turned the ball over, a little change up, 83 miles an hour, and hit the perfect spot. Got the call, third strike.
Juan Nieves, the pitching coach. McCutchen, one of the things on his bucket list is first career grand slam. The Pirates don't need a grand slam right now. Just use a hit. Here's the pitch you were talking about. Right on the corner at the knees.
Can't do much about it. Andrew didn't argue. I mean, these guys, they recognize when somebody makes a pitch on you. So nothing for him to say, but
what you don't want here and what he doesn't want is to pull that ball to the third baseman. Instead, it's hit hard to the shortstop, and he is going to turn it into an inning-ending double play. Riddle stayed with it. Ball bounced up in the air, and he turns it into an inning-ending double play. Pirates have to settle for 1 run. Go to the 4th. It is 5-2. Out our T-Mobile Unlimited Baseball break. News and notes from around Major League Baseball. Dustin Pedroia activated by the Red Sox out with a wrist injury. And the Brewers have promoted their top prospect, Josh Hader, who's the top lefty prospect in all of baseball. Not very impressive in terms of the numbers this season. And a lot of news out of Cardinals camp. They designate for assignment veteran Johnny Peralta. They've reassigned their third base coach. Assistant hitting coach Bill Miller is on leave, and John Mozeliak, the general manager of the Cardinals, had a wide-ranging press conference today talking about the situation, mainly Peralta. No place for him to play, as Jed Jerko has provided a lot of the power in that lineup. And one of the other things they did in terms of the coaching staff was bring another coach up for working with the outfielders, along with reassigning Chris Maloney. AAA hitting coach comes up to replace Bill Miller in St. Louis. He's taking that leave of absence. Ron Warner, Pop Warner, joins the Cardinals as an assistant to the coaching staff. John Mozeliak, one of the things he said was, clearly when you look at the dynamics of what was going on, again, think about the offseason narrative. In a line drive, A.J. Ellis has a leadoff single. Mozeliak talking about base running, better defense. Unfortunately, a lot of the things were colliding in a negative way. And I feel like something had to be done general manager of the Cardinals, Cardinals have lost 7 in a row. Another hit off of Tyler Glasnow.
All 4 leadoff men.
Expecting the bunt. Takes the strike. Steve, when you turn on a fastball inside, we've seen that now a handful of times tonight. Is that this is almost, I guess, like a fallback for someone who is just a novice watching the game.
They know he's a fastball pitcher. They're looking for fastball, so they're getting their swing started early. If he throws the hook or he starts establishing some softer stuff, that might change. But I just think they're sitting dead red right now.
Again, it's easy to fall back on this, but I'll ask you because I asked Neil Huntington about it on Sunday. What about this idea of protecting the inside part of the plate and making some uncomfortable at bats?
Yeah, you want, yep, absolutely. That's a very good point. You don't want him to feel that comfortable and confident up there.
Neil Huntington
install some fear.
He kind of said as much. He said, now again, we do not. He was very clear that they do not preach anything but that. In fact, about anything around the shoulders. But moving a guy's feet, as he says, pitching with a purpose inside is a very important part of the pitcher's game. And he conceded, the Pirates GM, that maybe would help to kind of get back to that mindset.
Well, that was my point that I was making about Garrett Cole. It might be the fact that he's too true and they are comfortable in their at bats, and nobody's got any degree of fear. And I'll tell you, you talk about throwing at the head. You don't do that. You can get as much attention. It's hard to get both feet out of the way of a pitch if you want to get somebody's attention.
Ask Josh Harrison.
Yeah.
And that's fair. Inside the bag, A.J. Ellis will be held and heading to second base, realizing that great speed, he would be able to get there without a throw. A double for D. Gorton. Don't see that too often. Runner at second. The batter doubles, and he only advances 90 feet.
Just out of the reach of David Freese, and of course Ellis had to make sure that that it was going to be past Freese before he could do much movement.
Here is Stanton again.
This is called the long ball. Curveball. And he knows it's gone. It's just a matter of how far and how much time it's going to take.
Bounced off the top of the batter's eye. 449 feet.
Needs a strikeout right here. He's a strikeout candidate.
Stanton at times will wear that protective extension on the helmet. He was hit by a pitch a couple years ago. Mike Fiers, then of the Brewers. And, Stanton was having a great year. 2015, hit by that Fiers pitch. Suffered facial fractures. A lot of concern about what that would do to him, to Stanton psychologically. Will he come back from it? Shortstop there. Shortstop position, Josh Harrison, but the run scores. RBI for Stanton. A 6-2 lead for the Marlins. 4-3 on the putout. Wade LeBlanc was up last inning.
Trying to not let this thing go down too far down the road, because you have that feeling that the Pirates are going to score, but you can't let them add on continually.
Yelich has bounced out and fly to left. And there goes Gordon for third. And into left field. It is 7-2.
Well, the stolen base and the catcher's error. It hurts at second base when this happens. It hurts worse at third.
Well, that's an error on the I guess they do call an error on the catcher.
Maybe because it was wide and you got the third baseman trying to reach in the path of a runner, perhaps. Freese did get a glove on the ball.
Yelich takes the strike. Here's another look.
Here's the break. See it? It's a tough play for a third baseman because he's got a runner coming at him. He's got to reach out fully extended, try to catch the ball, and it's another notch in the belt for the Miami Marlins. Now it's a 5-run lead.
Marlins won last night 7-1. They've collected 10 hits already. Last night 14 hits. Jacob Stallings threw out D. Gordon on a Pirates challenge in the first inning. Yelich offers, and it is a strikeout, but 2 more in. Go to the bottom of the 4th inning. 7-2 Miami.
It's time for the Toyota all-wheel drive RAV4 inning. Toyota, what drives you?
7-2 Marlins. Going to the bottom of the 4th inning. Jordy Mercer fly to right against Vance Worley in the 2nd. Marlins have had some starters on the disabled list. So Worley in there, D. Gordon. Double, steals third and scores on the air. Giancarlo Stanton picking up another RBI.
We are still going to have some opportunities. The bullpen was busy last inning for the Marlins, so Don Mattingly is well aware of the possibilities and the struggles that Vance Worley has had. He's just given up 2 so far, but was a little vulnerable in the first and third. And if he loses this batter, that really lights the light. Start walking people when you've got a big lead.
Out of play. Deep but foul. Worley, again, his 5th appearance, his 4th start. Has limited right-handed batters. Not a great sample size. To just a 125 average. Lefty's hitting 367 off of him. Headed up the middle. Nice play by Gordon, but infield hit for Mercer.
That's what you want. Base runners, you can't do it all at once, but I wouldn't be surprised if they get busy shortly again, because as you watch this infield base hit, last time out against Arizona, 3 2/3 innings, 6 hits, 5 earned runs, along with 3 walks for Worley. So probably not an extended leash.
Stalling struck out looking. Bouncing ball, and Gordon is there.
Not safe. Oh, my goodness. I thought, well, I shouldn't say I thought. It's up to the umpire, but the Pirates might want to take a look at this play at second base.
Tom Prince on the phone. They will not. Gordon went to the slide. It looked as though Mercer was popping up into the slide.
Yeah, that's what.
Just did get him. Here's Jose Osuna batting for Glass now. Talk about getting your attention.
Yep. Creating discomfort. Disappointing start for Eric Glass now. 4 innings, 7 runs.
6 earned, 10 hits. Seem to make a stride or two, and maybe take a step back, just part of the learning curve, but and a tough go. Now Jose Osuna with a 2-2 count. Lines this towards center field and a base hit. And Yelich won't be able to cut that off. Joey Cora going to go ahead and wave Stallings and then hold up with just 1 out. Stallings has obviously not run well for a big catcher. So a double for Osuna. A base hit here could get the Pirates within 3.
Yep. And the last thing you would want here is to have a man thrown out at home plate down 5 runs, as Osuna has a real good at bat, takes that outside pitch, turns it back into the gap. And yeah, to be quite honest, if you had a guy with a little more speed, you'd have another point on the board. But Joey waving initially, and then seeing how it's playing out. Yep.
It's a smart move. There's no sense in, and he'd have been out anyway. So now Juan Nieves with another trip to help that bullpen. Dustin McGowan. Adam Frazier to the plate. Trying to buy McGowan some time as Juan Nieves. 62 pitches for Worley.
And this is what, when you looked at this ball game, Greg, you had a feeling that there was going to be opportunities for the Pirates, and you hope there wouldn't be for the Marlins, but of course there were, and they've cashed them in. But you expected that you would have a chance to score some runs because Vance has been struggling a good bit, and it continues tonight. We just have not been able to break through with a big hit.
Well, of course, even a ground ball gets you a run to the right side with the infield back, with the exception of Dietrich at third. And that will get home a run. Another broken bat.
And you like the run, but you don't like it to cost an out, but it does.
Two down. RBI for Frazier. Scores Stallings. Osuna, the pinch hit double, is now at third. So Wade LeBlanc will be the new Pirates pitcher. And the new Marlins pitcher, Dustin McGowan, will be summoned. Don Mattingly is going to go to the bullpen. Vance Worley exits, 7-3 Marlins. The Miami Marlins, second of 4. Pirates fell 7-1 last night. They're down 7-3 tonight. Hey, do you have a local youth baseball or softball team that deserves some recognition? Well, you can send us a picture and the story. Use the hashtag BucksBooth on Twitter or Instagram, and we might just show your picture and your story during a game on Root Sports. Again, hashtag BucksBooth. Send along your local youth baseball or softball team picture along with the story. Hashtag BucksBooth on Twitter or Instagram.
Well, you got a new pitcher for the Marlins. As you take a look at his numbers, almost a strikeout per inning. And one thing we've learned about Josh Harrison, he's not afraid to turn it loose on the first pitch. And you wonder, maybe this might be an opportunity, guy trying to find the strike zone. You never know, but he's done it in the past.
Have to get a 2-out run.
Good take.
McGowan a 1-2-3 inning last night for the Marlins. Relieved Volquez, and he faced Jay Hay in the 8th inning. Harrison bounced out.
Pretty good shot of A.J. Ellis, the veteran. Smiling, but it hurts. off that throwing shoulder. Yeah, there's padding there, but you feel it. Not the first time that's probably happened to him in his good career.
One ball, one strike. Jay doubled in a run in the first, hit by pitches last time up.
Remember when we were down in Miami talking to Dave Van Horn, the Hall of Fame broadcaster for the Marlins, about A.J. Ellis and him talking about him being a good presence in the clubhouse, a catcher maybe that knows when to make noise, when not to make noise, been around, knows the deal.
Good stabilizing force backing up JT Realmuto. Longtime Dodger. A.J. Ellis behind the plate tonight, 36-year-old. Count goes full.
Dave Van Horn on the right-hand side there.
Glenn Geffner on your left.
Yep.
Cindy Boyden in the back there, the engineer, radio side of the Marlins, a Hall of Fame broadcaster there.
2011.
Dave Van Horn. He announced Expos games. This not only is a ball four, but it's a wild pitch.
There's your gift.
You would have taken a walk, but you love the walk wild pitch. WP on the scorecard.
Yep.
And that run charge to Worley.
There's the book, 3 2/3, 4.
Osuna, big pinch hit double for him, the rookie. So down 3, and keep talking about Polanco needing him to bat to come to life, and his career numbers against the Marlins awfully good. He walked his last time up. Polanco's numbers on the season: 21 career games against the Marlins, .351 batter.
Allen has given up 3 home runs.
Second baseman Gordon throws out Polanco. The Pirates get a couple. It is 7-4. Marlins after 4. music from Eternal Boy, our featured group tonight on Friday Night Rocks. UPMC scoreboard 7-4. Vance Worley charged with those 4 runs in his 4 innings. So game far from over. And how about the first game tonight? How about a Pirate come from behind victory? Yeah. That young lady.
Let's start it with putting up a 0 for a change.
Yeah.
So scored in the last 3 innings.
Wade LeBlanc, a one-time Marlin.
Let's retire a leadoff man. LeBlanc's good work this year.
D. Gordon.
Big night for him. Been on base all over the place. That's his game. As this man, Ozuna, has been on base both times, as you see.
Scored a couple of runs. The Marlins offense has been especially good the last couple of weeks. Christian Yelich has been a part of this strong offense. Pirates themselves, since middle of May, the 4th highest batting average in the National League coming into tonight, 272. The Marlins have the top batting average in the National League since the middle of May, 285.
See, those are the kind of swings we're looking for, and that, of course, this is his style of pitching, changing speeds. But it can apply to anybody, whatever speed they use. You want people out in front or behind in their swings. You don't want them on every swing. You don't want them on it.
Ozuna, the leadoff man, strikes out against LeBlanc.
Ray Searage always preaches that you want to change the rhythm of the batter. Disrupt his rhythm. Get him behind or out in front.
Isn't that the
Changing
essence
speeds.
of pitching, right?
Yes, absolutely. Changing speeds.
Derek Dietrich, 1 for 2. You see Osuna right there with the assistant to the general manager, Mike Gonzalez. Dietrich singled and scored in the 2nd, fly to right in the 3rd. One ball, 1 strike. And there's Josh Bell to retire Dietrich. Brings up Tyler Moore. Spend your summer at the ballpark with the Pirates Summer 6-pack. It's presented by Papa John's. You select any 6 games you want. Get a 7th bonus game plus a free pizza from Papa John's. Packages start as low as $126. Go to pirates.com/summer for yours today. Tyler Moore has had a productive night with a sacrifice fly and a home run. 2-run homer in the 3rd. Cubs lost earlier today to the Rockies 5-3. Colorado will be coming to town starting on Monday. That club has won 6 straight and leading the National League West. Despite the Pirates' woes of late, the National League Central Division is up for grabs. A 1-2-3-5 for Wade LeBlanc.
The Marlins lead the Buccos by a score of 7-4, and it's not surprising to see a former athlete slide into the role of color commentator on television. But what about if they were to slide into a, oh, I don't know, how about a reality TV role? Let's bring you tonight's Point Park University tweet. And we can tell you that former Pirates pitcher and former Marlins pitcher Chris LaRue was named the newest star of The Bachelor Canada, which will air on the W Network north of the border. Again, that's the Canadian version of The Bachelor. The native of Ontario spent 6 seasons striking out batters in the bigs, and now 20 bachelorettes hope that they don't strike out with him. Oh my God, that is so cheesy. I can't believe I just said that.
Good. Very good.
Oh, thick cheese. But hey,
you know, back in the day, you know, when I was in the minor leagues, I turned down be on The Bachelor in Kinston, North Carolina.
No, you didn't.
Of course I didn't. Of course I didn't.
In North Carolina.
Well, I was in the rookie league or the minor leagues down there. I was young.
Chris LaRue.
Chris LaRue.
Yeah, he has not pitched in the big leagues since 2014 with the Yankees. Couple of ground balls. This one to the shortstop, Riddle. He retired Freeze, but can't get Bell. Error, JT Riddle. Filling in for Adani Echeverria as the everyday shortstop. And rookie Riddle not able to handle that one, so he's charged with the error. Andrew McCutchen hit into a double play to end the third. Marlins came into tonight's game having committed a total of 32 errors. Only the Rockies and Reds with fewer miscues in the league. Gets away. Bell will take off for second.
Take him any way we can get him. WP or PB? Pass ball or?
I'm going to go WP on that one.
Yeah.
But we'll see what they call this. How about a cross up or something there?
Yep. Hit the dirt, so it's a wild pitch.
Didn't look like he was expecting a breaking ball. A.J. Ellis. Pirates look to take advantage.
Keep hacking away. Hacking away.
McCutchen gets the close call there on the pitch from McGowan.
Right in this situation, Greg, yeah, you'd love to have him hit the ball over the fence or a base hit. Now you're within sight. You're within two. Kind of you fill the pipeline, if you will. You've gotten yourself in a position where you can really do some damage and get there. But a base hit here would be huge.
Well, first and second.
Keep adding on.
Already the second walk for McGowan, and A.J. Ellis back out to the mound. Looks like the bullpen phone for the Marlins is ringing.
Yeah, this is one of those kind of games that Donnie Mattingly has seen 100 of these kind of games. You're way out in front. You got a big early lead, 7-2, and you're not comfortable. So he's worked these programs before. Some 7-2 leads, you just feel like, you know, you got the ball game under control. I don't think this one ever had that kind of feel. Now they may run away with it, but right now the Pirates are involved.
Here's Mercer. Brad Ziegler is up in the Marlins bullpen.
He got to have the nickname of Zig, doesn't he? The
oh yeah, yep. Ziggy.
Zig Ziglar.
Yep.
Yep.
2 on, 1 out. Down 3. And McGowan out in front now of Mercer, 0-2. Jordy Mercer had the infield single in the fourth. I'm wondering about the weather tonight, Steve. You said that there might have been a threat of rain, but we're going to be okay.
Looks to be all right.
And a line drive and a double play possibility. And yes, Bell is doubled off second. Riddle and Gordon combined on the double play. In favor of the Marlins, go to the sixth inning. Josh Bell too far off the bag and it's doubled off.
Nope, there's the fatal move toward third base.
I don't want to see you guys too much.
Line drive that looked like it might be going into left center field, but boy, wouldn't you want to be sure and leave yourself there in position, but got caught with that fatal step.
Riddle got rid of that ball quickly.
Yep.
And so that error doesn't cost the Marlins a run that he committed. The other way against the lefty LeBlanc. Into second with a leadoff double, J.T. Riddle.
Backs up that alert play. And a lot of doubles in the first two games. 2 base hits. And again, a leadoff man, not just on first, but in scoring position.
Riddle going the other way against the lefty. It's his second hit tonight. He was 1 for 4 last night. A rookie from Frankfort, Kentucky. And here's A.J. Ellis. Pops up a bunt. With Ichiro Suzuki on deck, he was trying to get Riddle to third. And maybe even get a hit out of it, but pops up the bunt. Ichiro Suzuki, 43-year-old, former MVP in the American League. A polite ovation.
There should be. This is one tremendous baseball player.
25th on the all-time major league hits list. .343 hits in his what will be a lock Hall of Fame career. Rod Carew is next on the list. He's grew 24th.
Meticulous baseball player.
Between his career in Japan and the big leagues, 4,321 career hits. And he's got another hit. This might score a run. Freddie Gonzalez waving home Riddle, and he will score. Ichiro Suzuki, the RBI single, and goes to second on the throw. 8-4 Marlins.
And they just keep adding on. I didn't even know if this ball had enough to get it through the infield. He didn't hit it well at all, but the direction was perfect. And the Marlins do indeed add another one on.
Career hit number 3,044 for Ichiro. D. Gordon, a little flare into left field and a base hit, and Ichiro will score. Gordon to second base. Safe there. 9-4 Marlins. Second double of the night for Gordon, his third hit of the game.
Just a slicer into left field, 2 balls, not particularly well hit, but well directed. Suzuki and then Gordon with his great speed just in under the tag.
The Pirates figure they've got nothing to lose, so they're going to challenge, but I think by that angle, pretty clear that Gordon's going to be safe. And looking up at the scoreboard, next to he sees.
See if we can see anything closer. Looks like he's in.
The only possibility would have been, did that foot leave the bag for just a split second? D. Gordon talking to the Pirates infielders. It was a big loss for the Marlins last year when he was suspended 80 games, and he is safe. PED violation. The Pirates experiencing that with Starling Marte. Call confirmed.
And they've got to keep track of him at second base. Really nothing to lose by perhaps getting over to third where he can score on a sacrifice.
D. Gordon, couple doubles tonight, 10 on the year. Stanton hit that Titanic home run in the third. His 16th of the year, now with 41 RBIs. His ground out in the fourth brought in a run. That's pulled past third. This will easily score Gordon. He could trot in as Stanton will trade places. How many balls have been hit just past third tonight? Stanton pulls it inside the bag, and it is 10 for Marlins.
They just keep changing places.
Well, Christian Yelich.
And now Ray Searage is going to buy some time as you watch that ball get down into the corner. And this has been kind of a slow torture. The Pirates react a little bit, and then the Marlins just keep coming back and answering every time we score.
And this one is a little more resounding answer too, because the Pirates just getting one run in the first, third, and fourth. Davidis Neverauskas loosens in the bullpen. Pirates had gotten one run in the first to take the early lead. The Marlins get 2 in the second, 3 in the third. Pirates got 1 in the bottom half of that inning. Fish get 2 in the fourth. Pirates answered with just 1 in the bottom of the fourth, and here a 3 spot so far.
Yeah, we're getting singles, and they're getting 2 runs, 3 runs,
and 14 hits, by the way.
Singles don't add up well.
Pair of homers, 4 doubles.
LeBlanc had a 1-2-3 fifth, but all kind of problems here in the 6th inning.
Yelich trying to join the hit parade. Yelich, a .385 career hitter here at PNC Park. 25-year-old from Thousand Oaks, California. First round pick in 2010.
Wasn't former Pirate Craig Wilson from
Jack Wilson?
Jack Wilson, 1,000 out. Okay, I knew it was a Wilson.
Speaking of former Pirates, by the way, happy birthday also to your good buddy Bill Verdon.
Yes, indeed. Happy birthday, Bill. And still probably enjoying the afterglow of having that statue presented to him a week or so ago. Statue in Springfield, Missouri for native son Bill Verdon, as you take a look at a Jack Wilson fan.
A more recent Pirate, Jack Wilson, the shortstop. Bill Verdon was an integral part of the Pirates, of course, the 1960 World Series team, and then when he went on to coach and managed a handful of big league clubs. And when we heard about today being Bill Verdon's birthday, went into some research on Mr. Verdon. A couple things, Steve, I did not know. First of all, he was initially signed by the Yankees as an amateur and traded to the Cardinals in April of 1954 for Enos Country Slaughter. He was the Rookie of the Year for the Cardinals in '55. Pirates picked him up in May of '56 for Bobby Del Greco and Dick Littlefield. Had some solid years with the Bucks, a Gold Glover in '62. He was, well, after the '65 season, basically he called it quits at the age of 34. As Yelich should be retired, and is for the second out. But remarkably, and there was some speculation, by the way, that he wasn't particularly fond of then manager Harry Walker, but didn't want to make a stink about it, so he just quietly walked away, maybe prematurely. And he became a coach in the Mets system for a couple of years. Then the Pirates hired him on as a major league coach because their new manager, Larry Shepard, hired him on as a coach. And that was going into the '68 season. He was activated July 15th, 1968 as a player coach. And on July 17th, 1968, he returned to the Pirates to play the top half of the 9th inning of a game at Forbes Field against the New York Mets. He caught the final out, a ball that was hit by Al Weiss. The Pirates ended that night a 10-game losing streak by winning 8-2 behind the complete game work of Steve Blass.
I am so glad. I did not know that. I'm
Can
so
you
happy.
believe that? It's just remarkable. He's out of the game for 3 years, but he really felt strongly that he could make a contribution in '68. He returned and played right field in the 9th inning, caught the final out of your complete game.
Oh, that is so great. I'm really delighted you found that story. he is such a good man. Any connection, any tie you have with a Bill Verdon is always a plus. So,
there was more to that, though, that incredible story of his comeback. And we'll come back and talk more about it as the Marlins have stretched their lead to 10-4. Shortstop Hannes Wagner becomes the 20th century's first 3,000 hits club member. He would end his career 3 years later with 3,420. Still ranks 8th best in Major League history. Hannes Wagner on this day, the first 20th century member of the 3,000 hit club. Talking about Ichiro as he climbs 25th all time. 10-4, the Marlins lead it. Hannes Wagner, of course, became a coach after his playing days. Yep, the Carnegie PA member.
I remember Tony Bartram when he played, who grew up in Pittsburgh, giving Hannes Wagner rides back to his home in Carnegie. I mean, what kind of stories come out of that as you take a look at Bear Claw's numbers as he comes in to try to protect this 6-run Miami lead.
Bear Claw facing Stallings. And toward right center field, Jacob Stallings gives this one a ride. Short hops the wall. And Jacob Stallings, his 4th career start, his first this season, doubles to begin the bottom of the 6th.
Upstairs, elevate the pitches. You playing with fire as a pitcher against these major league hitters. A big ride to the biggest part of the ballpark.
Stallings
almost got it out of here.
Showing some of his power the other way to right center. Jacob Stallings, who last year made his first trip to the big leagues. And in September delivered a pinch hit walk-off single against the Washington Nationals September 23rd. Phil Goslin takes ball 1 as he bats for LeBlanc.
I wonder if Kevin Stallings is in the audience tonight.
Imagine so, huh?
Yeah, I'd like that one. Here's the goose. Goslin had a good spring for the Pirates. Before the game, Jacob Stallings with
his family, his wife Amy Beth and baby Emmett, who was born on March the 12th. Let's take some pictures. PNC Park. Family photo before the ball game. I imagine his dad is here as well.
Yep, absolutely. Don't come to this ballpark without a camera, ever.
So Stallings had that walk-off hit in September last year, his first in his major league career. We're talking about Bill Verdon and that incredible story where Verdon came back, was activated in 1968, and he came back as a defensive replacement initially. Then in the second game of that doubleheader, came up as a pinch hitter and struck out. But 1 week later, he pinch hit in the bottom of the 9th inning against the Cincinnati Reds, 2 outs, a man on base, home run to tie the game.
After not playing for 3 years.
Yeah. In the air to right.
That's how good Bill Verdon was. He still is.
Goslin flies out. Just unreal to me. He hadn't played in 3 years. It's a pinch hit, game tying home run. His last game would be a couple weeks later, and he would call it a career on the field, but he had much work to be done in terms of managing and coaching.
Great reputation. He is one of the most respected men in baseball I've ever run across in all the years I've been around. Bill Verdon, just rock solid. And by the way, the video you saw of him making that real good catch against the Yankees, I think in the first game, early in that World Series, was kind of the model they took when they built the statue for Bill. So they kind of framed Bill Verdon forever in Springfield, Missouri, making that important catch against the Yankees right near the 407 sign. Now, I'm trying to. I should know whether that first game was in New York or. Was there a 407 sign at Forbes?
I think so.
It seems right going out from right field, the short right field out to right center by the Iron Gate.
Game 1 was definitely at Forbes.
Yeah, well that was near the Iron Gate then at Forbes.
Bounced to the shortstop. And a nice little play there by Riddle. Let's go back to the studio. Paul Alexander has this game break.
Second baseman, Josh Harrison.
Wow. Oh, thank you very much, Paul.
Have yourself a night.
Yeah. Here's Josh Harrison. Ball 1 on Jay Hay. He's been on base 3 times. See Andrew Triggs, who's having a really good year for Oakland, gave up 8 runs in 3 2/3 innings to the Tampa Bay Rays. Cardinals and Phillies in St. Louis are tied at 2. And the Cardinals are trying to snap a 7-game losing streak. Gotta believe. Pirates have done really good work against the Marlins, even with last night's loss. Over the last few years here at PNC Park, they've won 11 of the last 16 games played in their home yard. A rough night for Tyler Glass now, and the questions are sure to come after the game tonight about what the immediate future holds for the one-time top prospect. Does he make another start, and do they juggle the rotation with Tyone expected to return early next week?
Well, they've juggled the bullpen, as you've certainly heard about by now, with Tony Watson not in the closer's role at this point.
Clint Hurdle said they're going to try and get Watson some opportunities like they did with Daniel Hudson. Davidas Neverauskas returned to the big leagues last night. He's back on the hill.
There are so many Bill Verdon stories. One of the ones that I kind of like, when he was manager of the Yankees, apparently George Steinbrenner called down to in the dugout during the course of a game, and it was reported that Bill replied, if you ever call down here, you'll be talking to another manager. I don't know.
Probably true.
Yeah, probably true. Even if it's not, it's great.
Yep. Wow. Urklaw strikes out Harrison looking, and the leadoff double amounts to nothing. The Pirates trail 10-4.
Sports is brought to you by the Chevy Cruze and your Western PA Chevy dealers. And by Day Automotive. We're going to make your day. Let's go Bucks!
We went to the inning break. Saw this young lady decide, the heck with it, I'm going for it, and she grabbed a handful of the ice cream. What do you think, Steve? That's the way to go, right?
Absolutely. You got ice cream.
You don't mess around.
No, you don't fool around. You go for the ice cream.
Yeah.
You're down 5 runs, go for the ice cream.
Phil Gosselin stays in the game. That second double switch. Rookie Davidas Neverauskas.
You said we saw him last night.
From Lithuania. Talked about how it was more familiar, easier for him this time. After being recalled from AAA Indianapolis. Made his major league debut April 24th here at PNC Park. Spent a little bit of time in the big leagues, then was back down. Derek Dietrich, 1 for 3. Oh. Talking about former Pirate Bill Verdon, a guy that spent a lot of time in the Pirates organization, Steve Demeter.
Played for him. He was manager down in Charleston. Really a top-notch baseball guy, Steve Demeter.
Grandson, Derek Dietrich. retired. And Steve Demeter's son is in the stands watching his son, Derek Dietrich. Well, he looks like Steve, doesn't he?
Yep, yep. Homer City, Pennsylvania. A little bit east toward Indiana. We were talking last night over on the radio side about going down to Charleston to try to find some answers, and Steve Demeter was the manager of the AAA Charleston Charlies, and he had to keep pitching me, and he did. It was difficult. He was trying to win. It wasn't working for me. He could have been nicer and more professional about it. Good man, Steve Demeter.
Well, there's a drive toward the wall and left. Tyler Moore has a 2-homer game and a no-doubter. Tyler Moore.
Number 4, number 2 on the night, as you said.
11-4 Marlins. Oof.
They just keep piling on.
Let's go, group 2.
Second career 2-homer game. Moore spent some time playing for the Washington Nationals.
Well, out of here.
Wow.
You don't suppose way back there was any thought that there was a daughter instead of a son, it was going to be Mary Tyler Moore?
Ah.
I'm sorry.
Well, might as
It's
well.
11-4.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's 11-4.
Anything goes.
Yeah.
He's probably heard it before.
Yeah. Just want to go back to one last thought about Bill Verdon, because I never fail to say this when we talk about excuse me, when I was going through all my difficulties and he was the manager in '73, he couldn't have stood any taller. And it was difficult because we were all trying to find out what was going to go on. But he was so stand-up guy and cared and
really kind of gave you every opportunity, right?
Every opportunity. We worked out of the bullpen. We worked every day. He couldn't have been better, because I pitched for him in the best of times and the worst of times. I won 19 for him the first year, and he was the same guy in '73 as he was in '72, and that tells you a lot. And you know, when you're caught up in that, sometimes you don't have the appreciation. But when I look back at it now, that meant so much to me. And he was one of many, but he was right near the top of the list. And those are qualities where you really find out about somebody. And not that we didn't know it, but just confirmed all the things that I had always known about Bill Verdon.
That's when you know the manager has your back.
Yep, yep. Never changed.
Another hard hit ball line to Frazier. Check out the Nissan Road Ahead tomorrow afternoon, 4:05, 3:30 airtime. Trevor Williams for the Pirates against Dan Straley, and Sunday, Devon Nova opposes Jeff Locke.
Jeff Locke, I think, spent some time on a DL earlier.
Started this season on the DL.
Yeah.
Locke right there.
Jeff.
He'll be making just his third start since being activated from the DL.
By the way, speaking of Batman and Robin, it was enjoyable watching you guys have the visit with A.J. Burnett and his sons, and talking about his thoughts about his time in Pittsburgh and all that sort of thing. You couldn't talk him into making a comeback, could you?
No, but he left the door open a crack.
Did he falter a little bit?
A little bit. Talk about what great shape he's in, but and then you could see that what great shape he's in. But he no doubt he wants to get back in the game in some capacity.
It was an enjoyable thing to watch, him being on the telecast.
As we said, he did bring an edge, and he and Jeff Locke became best of friends. 96-mile-per-hour fastball gets A.J. Ellis. That really has to sting. You could hear his groan.
Yeah, he goes down to first base. He said, "What did I do?" Me for. Everybody else is pounding our pitchers. He has not been. Ah, you know it's coming.
The pitcher Kyle Barraclough to the plate.
One of Vernon Law's favorite things when he wanted to hit somebody, and pitchers do occasionally want to hit somebody, even though Vernon is an elder in the Mormon Church. The minute the ball got to the hitter and hit him, he would holler, "Watch out!" just barely behind the impact. Watch it, and the guy's down on the ground. It didn't happen often, but every once in a while somebody catches your attention, and for whatever reason that somebody did something to one of your guys, and you've got to let your teammates know you got their back.
The Deacon.
Yep, the Deacon.
Well, Neverauskas gave up a home run to Tyler Moore, and another run for the Fish. 11-4.
Sports is brought to you by Barrel. Visit our brand new Kia showroom in Wexford. More vehicles than ever at the very best prices. And by Levin's, the official furniture and mattress supplier to the Pittsburgh Pirates. For the best quality, service, and value, shop Levin's. Let's go Bucks!
It's 11-4 Marlins. Skull Bar. Folks still having fun out there. And kids will have fun on Sunday. It's a kids' day, and the Pirates and Fish meet at 1:35. Enjoy fun and games before, during, and after the game. All kids 14 and under will take home a Play Ball plastic bat, compliments of MLB Play Ball. Go to pirates.com/kidsday for tickets. On Sunday, fun on Federal Street before the game. And after the game, kids can run the bases. Blanco 0 for 2. Plus a walk. Polanco, Freeze, and Bell. Pittsburgh down a bunch. Kyle Barraclough follows Dustin McGowan. Vance Worley started, but he did not go the minimum 5 innings to qualify for a W, so Dustin McGowan, good chance for the win.
Yep. Inning and third scoreless. for Don Mattingly.
And to right, pretty well hit, but Stanton just enough room on the track. One out in the bottom of the 7th. And we'll bring up David Freese. Freese singled in a run in the 3rd inning. The Pirates were down 5-2 at that point. Josh Bell followed with a single. They loaded the bases, but Andrew McCutchen, despite hitting the ball hard, hit it right at the shortstop for an inning-ending 6-4-3 double play. Just a little bit different direction, and we could be talking about a different ball game here. It was a big play in this one. And then, of course, the fact that Tyler Glass now, and even surprisingly Wade LeBlanc, struggled. Giancarlo Stanton, a mammoth home run and a 2-homer game for Tyler Moore. There's Stanton and shallow right. The ball will drop and Freese will take it. A 1-out single.
Yeah, an unusual tough outing for Wade LeBlanc. He's been so very good, but giving up the 3 runs in his 2 innings of work. Well, David doesn't get many of these, but it was a long run for Stanton from where he started from, and yeah, once in a while you get one to drop in.
Josh Bell, that's a hard line shot to right field, and nicely done by Stanton. Gets that glove up the last second to snatch it.
Yep, he gives a circle around that one because he had to have the timing just right, and that ball was not very high. He didn't have much time to figure out what he's going to try to do. He's got it locked in, goes up, and brings it back down. You know, on the previous ball hit by Freese, you don't see very much of this as you watch the catch made, but Giancarlo Stanton coming in, but A.J. Ellis, 36 years old, right down and back to first base in case he's needed for anything. That kind of restores your faith a little bit.
And there's a base hit for Andrew McCutchen. Putting runners at first and second. McCutchen on base for a 3rd time, and a couple of walks and a hit. And now Jordy Mercer. Mercer has flied out, reached on an infield single, then lined into that double play. Shortstop J.T. Riddle tossed to D. Gordon to double up Josh Bell. 2 outs. Jordy Mercer looks to deliver here with 2 down. The Pirates down 7 runs to the Miami Marlins in the 7th inning. I hate to ask this question with 2 outs, but I wondered, Steve, if you remembered another this date in history. The Pirates were in Houston, Texas at the Astrodome on this day back in 1968. Major League Baseball had decided to allow the teams to decide whether they would play in the wake of Senator Robert Kennedy being assassinated a couple days earlier in California.
Yeah, we were in Los Angeles
when it happened.
Yeah.
But this day on June 9th, 1968, the Pirates were in Houston when a couple of players decided not to play for the Astros. Pirates ended up winning the ball game.
Rusty Staub.
Rusty Staub was one.
Bob Aspromonte.
Yep. And I think Maury Wills of the Pirates, I guess, decided not to play also that day in '68. That must have been something, actually being in California when he was assassinated, huh?
Yeah, I remember coming back to the old Biltmore Hotel, just stunned. Rayford Johnson, the decathlete, was involved in that. There.
And they line out to first. Ends the 7th. Bucks trail 11-4. Here in Pittsburgh, and just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller time later in the game. Brought to you by Miller Lite.
You know, Greg, you talk about that situation after the assassination of Robert Kennedy. We were also involved in a situation where we had to make decisions because was it after '69 when Martin Luther King?
That was earlier that year.
Yeah.
I think baseball decided not to play that first night.
Right. If I remember right, we were coming north, scheduled to play an exhibition game in Virginia, Richmond, Virginia. And we remember sitting in on a meeting, and we decided, I think, not to play that exhibition game.
Now, D. Gordon leads off the 8th. Martin Luther King assassinated April the 4th of 1968, and Robert Kennedy June 5th of that year. Two on D. Gordon. He's been busy. 3 hits, a couple of doubles, has scored a couple runs, has stolen a base, also caught stealing.
I'm trying to think back. April 4th. I think maybe the season could have started shortly after, scheduled to start shortly after that, perhaps.
Got rid of it quickly and barely. And one away. Yeah, that's very possible, Steve, in terms of the
scheduling.
Yep. I know our buddy Pete Peterson, Rich Peterson, who writes occasionally for the Post-Gazette, wrote something about that not too long ago, about the assassination of Martin Luther King. It was 4 days before the season opener.
Yep. I think we were barnstorming north, playing some games along the way.
Some teams canceled their home openers. And the Astros decided to go ahead with their opener against the Pirates April the 8th. But the Pirates did refuse to play, led by Roberto Clemente. And they refused to take part in the next game against the Astros. It was scheduled for April the 9th, the day of the Martin Luther King funeral. So you were on that club.
Oh
right?
yeah. Yep.
Well, you had it, Steve. You were right. Your club decided not to play at all as Stanton draws the walk. Well, Giancarlo Stanton hit a towering home run. Estimated distance 449 feet. It was a leadoff homer off Tyler Glasnow in the 3rd inning. It was number 16 for Stanton. And it made the score 3-1. Later in the inning, Tyler Moore hit a 2-run homer to make it 5-1. There's another ball hit the other way. Christian Yelich singles to left.
You know, we keep watching that replay of the Stanton homer. How far it bounced back off the top of the batter's eye to come back onto the field. And just a lot of different aspects of that monster home run.
Point Park University tweets. Might as well hit that to the moon.
Oh, there is a full moon tonight. It's officially the full moon. He almost got there. That ball.
Marcell Ozuna at the plate with 2 on and 1 out. 16 hits for the Marlins. 17 hits for the Marlins.
The crack of the bat. That ball is hit right on the button. Freddie Gonzalez, third base coach for the Marlins, very, very busy. Check out this sound. That's solid. I know that sound well. So we talked about the matchup between whoever's pitching for the Pirates and the 2, 3, 4 batters for the Miami Marlins, and the Marlins have won the various matchups. Very strong. Yelich getting his first hit. Ozuna strong. Stanton strong.
Now the bases are loaded for Derek Dietrich. Walk to Stanton, he's at 3rd. Christian Yelich at 2nd and Marcell Ozuna at 1st. Dietrich 1 for 4 after going 3 for 4 last night.
And the Sharks, the fish circling.
Family, talked about Steve Demeter, the longtime member of the Pirates organization, the late Steve Demeter, and his daughter Kathy. We're told her husband in the stands earlier, and a lot of the Dietrich family there.
Remembering him, didn't he have tremendous AAA numbers?
Oh yeah,
big time career numbers at the AAA level.
Steve, you're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah. Family. Monica Puig is also there, the gold medalist tennis player. His girlfriend. Apparently he has tattooed on the inside of his left wrist the words "Let it fly." Steve Demeter's mantra, a longtime coach in the Pirate system. They have been doing that last 2 nights. 14 hit attack last night and beating the Pirates 7-1. 17 hits so far tonight, leading 11-4. Their season high 19 hits just a couple of weeks ago.
Surrounded by a school of fish.
That's not going to be an easy play. They're just going to get 1 out. Another run in. Fish have a dozen as Stanton scores. Give Dietrich the RBI on the fielder's choice. There it is. And he added the date of birth and when Steve Demeter passed away in 2013, his grandfather. Let it fly. Steve Demeter was on the Pirates major league staff in 1985. Another broken bat, another hit. No sense in Freddie Gonzalez pushing anything now. Tyler Moore with his 3rd hit. And at some point, Clint Hurdle knows he can't do this to Neverauskas. Check and see if that bullpen is Jan Marinez ready. Marinez pitched 2 1/3 last night. The way things are going, we're liable to see roster changes maybe tomorrow.
The Pirates do not have an off day until next Wednesday.
Wednesday?
Is it Wednesday or Thursday?
The Pirates play Wednesday, right?
What's that?
Yeah. Thursday off day.
Thursday.
3 games with the Rockies,
Yeah,
and then
that's
the
right,
off day, then the Cubs
Thursday.
in.
Yep.
JT Riddle, 2 hits and 4 at bats. Glasnow went 4, gave up 7 runs, 6 earned, 10 hits. Wade LeBlanc 3 runs in 2 innings. Neverauskas will get the last out. A long couple of innings for him. He gives up 1 in the 8th, and now it's 12-4 Marlins.
Telecast is presented by the authority of the Pittsburgh Pirates and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Well, it is 12-4 in favor of the Marlins. They won big last night, and they are winning by a wider margin. A new pitcher, they get a bunch of changes. Arlene Garcia, the new Marlins pitcher, facing Jacob Stallings.
$14 hits last night, 18 more tonight. Of Pirate pitching.
Well, they talk the high leverage, which really doesn't make a lot of sense. It's more just high pressure situations. They're going to take Watson out of the high pressure situations and see if they can't work something out. So it is 12-4, and Watson will get some work in the ninth.
I guess pressure and leverage is like the difference between velocity and speed on a fastball.
Well, just the definition of leverage, it doesn't make a lot of sense, but that's kind of a modern day term in baseball. It's not really what leverage means, but no matter. It's a situation where they need to get Watson back to where he was. And so he's going to go out there and pitch the ninth and start to work some things out. Jacob Stallings. He's going to drop it into center field. One of the very few bright spots tonight. Jacob Stallings 2 for 4. And another broken bat, by the way.
We break bats. They don't.
Oh my gosh. Drops that into center. Phil Goslin comes to the plate. That's the 10th hit for the Pirates. But they're down 12-4. They've been out hit 18-10. Phil Goslin pinch hit in the 6th and flied out. Stayed in the ball game to play second. Well, here are the changes. Derek Dietrich moves from third to left. Marcell Ozuna goes from left to center. Tyler Moore goes from first to right. In the game, Christian Colon, Tomas Telis on the corners. And the new pitcher, Garcia. Fister to second. So 1 out. It's going to bring up Adam Frazier. Earlier, the Rockies beat the Cubs 5-3. Greg Holland earned his 23rd save for Colorado. Those Rockies again are coming into Pittsburgh starting Monday night. The Brewers are leading the Diamondbacks 3-0 in the bottom of the first. Cardinals lead over the Phillies 3-2. That game is in the bottom of the 5th in St. Louis. Again, the Cardinals trying to snap a 7-game losing streak. They made some changes on their coaching staff today. Line toward left center field, and that will slice away from Ozuna. So Frazier will go into second base with a double, and waving the runner home. There will be no play. RBI double for Frazier.
Perfectly sliced the opposite way for Adam Frazier, slicing away from center fielder. Now you say Ozuna is in center. Just kept running away from him and all the way around. Long trip for the Pirate catcher. See the ball sliding away. And continuing on to the W.B. Mason sign.
Is that 5 extra base hits do you have for the Pirates, Steve? 5 doubles?
I have 1, 2, 3.
Stalling scoring without a play.
4, 5, yeah.
7 extra base hits for the Marlins.
Not a great night to pitch.
No. 12-5 ball game. Elias Diaz pinch hitting for Neverauskas. 2 doubles tonight for Frazier. He now has 22 RBIs on the year. Neverauskas goes a couple and gives up a couple. Belated happy birthday wish to our good friend Bonnie Cashdollar. Celebrated a birthday yesterday. Happy birthday, Bonnie. A longtime member of the Pirates front office. Thanks to the folks at Sewickley Men's Club, Senior Men's Club today. Paul Collier, thanks for the invitation. Fun chatting baseball with the boys this morning.
They like their baseball, don't they? Those guys
do.
at the Y at Sewickley.
And folks in the trailer want to know, did Bonnie Cashdollar ever go into banking? To my knowledge, no. She was a longtime Pirate receptionist back at Three River Stadium. And that really is her name.
Cashdollar.
Cashdollar.
I like it. It's got a nice ring.
So how about some monetary names throughout baseball history?
Norm Cash.
Aha. Jack and Joe Buck.
Don Money.
Ken Singleton.
Yep. George Cashdollar.
Oh, come on. No.
Okay.
Phil Coyne. Buck Martinez. Phil Coyne, the longtime usher here.
Buck O'Neill.
Now let's keep it real. Now, Buck O'Neill, that's a good one. You made one up.
Yeah, I did.
That doesn't count.
Okay.
We're looking for
legit
names. Don Money was a good one. There's Phil Coyne.
Yep.
How about Will Pennyfeather, former Pirate?
Very good.
Good one, Greg. Thank you.
Yep. Well done,
Greg.
Greg.
Truck. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. Well done. Well done. Nicholson. Isn't there a Nicholson?
There's a Reed Nichols. Not necessarily spelled properly. That's okay. How about Mike Lincoln? Brad Lincoln.
Fair.
You don't like that one?
Fair.
One on Gregory Polanco. Mark Grant.
Mark Grant.
You like that one? I know he likes that one.
Yeah, he would. Dave Cash.
Norm Cash. We didn't say Dave Cash.
Oh my goodness.
We got the Cash in.
Teammate. Oh wow. Sorry, AC, as Willie Stargell used to call him. AC, always cool.
Oh.
Always cool.
That's great. Captain Willie.
Yeah, he had some nicknames going on.
Zach has Sean Green. That's a good one. Speaking of Willie, speaking today at the Sewickley Men's Club, YMCA there, Barry Lewis is one of the great baseball fans. We've talked about him in the past. He showed me a letter that he received from Willie himself in November of 1990, when Willie was a coach in the Braves minor league system. Barry was celebrating his 50th birthday, and a big Pirate fan up here, and knew someone down in, let's say it was Asheville, who got in touch with Willie through the switchboard and asked if Willie would call him back, and sure enough, Willie did twice. And the gentleman said, I've got a friend, a big Pirate fan up in Pittsburgh, who's going to be celebrating his 50th birthday in a couple weeks. Would you mind giving him a shout out, sending him a note? Well, Willie sat down and wrote down, and look at that, the penmanship there.
Yeah.
In 1990, about his 50th birthday will be very special to you, and then many people you've touched over the years. I mean, that's just impressive, isn't it?
Yeah. Willie had a good,
would take the
yeah,
time to do that.
He had a one of those rare readable autographs.
Oh yeah,
too.
yeah. And the strikeout of Polanco. Pirates get one, down 12-5. Gonna get some work in.
This has got to feel so strange, and it can't. I wouldn't think it'd be a great feeling, but Tony Watson will do anything that the ball club asks him to do.
Pro's pro. That's all.
Yep,
you know.
Yep, and has been. You want me to do this? I will do this for the baseball team.
And you know, we broadcasters have been receiving some criticism in some circles because we aren't so quick to say get him out of there. And as the closer, it's just, if you know this guy, it's just not that easy to say. And yeah, there's a fine line too, because there have been loads of closers who have struggled and managers have stuck with them and they've rebounded. And there have also been many closers who've been pulled from that role, never to return again. So you want to give a guy every opportunity to find it, because the team's going to be better off if he does.
It's just crazy that every time he misses his spot, it's not just a base hit, it goes over the fence. It's a crazy set of circumstances.
Although there's also, Steve, that it's not automatic, that ninth inning.
No.
And he was automatic in the eighth inning.
Yep.
It's possible too that for whatever reason the ninth inning just doesn't work for him.
It's a different mindset. Yeah. It is. Not everybody's cut out to do it.
There have been a lot of setup men over the years who have been absolutely lights out, have been tried as closers, and has not worked out. That's not to suggest that it won't work out once again for Watson. We sure root for him.
You know, and the thing is, these last bad outings in a package. You wonder what the percentage of hits have left the ballpark. And I'm not making excuses. He's been getting beat up. As simple as that. That's the reality. However, it's amazing that he cannot get away with a mistake these days. Because I remember when I was pitching good, I'd probably make 15 to 20 mistakes in a ballgame when I was pitching good, and get away with a high percentage of them. And the ones I didn't get away, not all of them went over the fence. But everything he's thrown up so far has not been just hit. It's been hit deep
hard,
and long.
Yeah.
I mean, you can have balls that are hit hard that don't leave the ballpark. He's just been in one of those streaks.
Tomas Talis, his first at bat. And Ellington going to get some work in. Bottom of the ninth. Got some other monetary baseball names. Barry and Bobby Bonds. Brad Penny. Mentioned Will Pennyfeather.
George Cash Dollar. No,
Oh, come on.
I already tried that.
Paul Goldschmidt.
A reach.
What?
Yeah, it's a reach. You got to cash that gold in before you can. You got to be a cash. You're going all around the league now, aren't you? You're going all.
I'm trying to think back,
yeah.
you know, history and. Don Money.
I said Don.
You
Money.
said Don Money. Like
Early.
we're just repeating, just so in case anybody didn't hear that.
All right.
Broken bat.
More kindling.
High throw, out for now. And you wouldn't think that Don Mattingly would waste any time challenging that, though. You're looking out for your player.
Yeah.
That's always keep in mind. Why would they do this in a 12-5 game? Well, you've got a player who's trying to get a hit, and he's not going to challenge it.
A little bit of flyer that takes Bell up. And first base umpire Greg Gibson said he got back down. It was the gravity call.
Josh Bell going up to get it. Three hits for D. Gordon tonight. 1 for 5 last night.
Don't waste any time.
Just getting him there. For the second time tonight, the Pirates pitcher retires the Marlins in order. In the afternoon, Trevor Williams looks to continue his strong string of starts. He'll go up against Dan Straley. Coverage begins at 3:30 with Pirates pregame presented by WB Mason. Chad Kuhl looked better his last start as well. And the bearded one, Trevor Williams, the former member of the Marlins organization. A new look for one of the Renegades, Steve.
Very stylish, yet understated.
That's understated. Brian Duke Ellington on the mound. I'll be on the radio side tomorrow, so an early birthday wish to former Pirate Hank Foyles.
Henry, regular attendee of the alumni spring meeting down in Pirate City last week in January. Always good to see Hank.
And an early happy birthday wish this coming Sunday to the original Frank Thomas,
who will be in attendance.
And Steve, happy birthday to you.
Thank you. Yeah, early. Well, late. Early for next year.
Well, that was money.
On occasion. On occasion.
I'm just throwing in my 2 cents. Thank you, Pete.
Well, very good. And thanks to Uncle Larry for wearing the jersey I gave him to bring to the ballpark.
Still a very popular jersey. See it not just here at the ballpark, all around town.
Once a year.
We're told, Steve, it's now the number 2 seller in the gift shop.
Really?
No, just kidding. But,
right.
But it's probably close to it.
George Cashtar.
Josh Bell will come to the plate. We got a lot of texts, a lot of tweets about the monetary names. We will get to those in the coming days.
Thanks, guys. I already gave them the money, so they don't have to waive it anymore. So we got some more additions. We got.
Oh yeah, they got.
Okay.
97, by the way, from Brian Ellington. But as Tyler Glass now knows all too well, 97, 98.
Not just all about speed.
The Marlins have won 10 of their last 14 games. A club that has been hit hard by injuries this season. And of course, going into last year, so much was expected of the Marlins. It looked like a very strong rotation, a healthy Giancarlo Stanton. They had signed Dee Gordon to a long-term extension. He was coming off the batting title in 2015. And then mentioned earlier, he was hit by the 80-game suspension. And later in the year, tragedy struck. Jose Fernandez was killed in the boating accident. And remember the moment they returned to play, and Dee Gordon went to the plate and hit his first home run of the season. Good friend Jose Fernandez, he honored him by batting right-handed initially the first pitch. And there's Bartolo Colon, back-to-back walks. You don't have to say what is going through Don Mattingly's mind right now in a 12-5 game.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I think it was Tim Wallach, his bench coach, maybe talking to Dean Trainer, the bullpen coach, former minor league manager in the Pirates organization. That incredibly enough, they are going to have to get somebody up, or they're going to get someone up, start to loosen, and Juan Nieves will go out there and buy him some time. Dee Gordon when the Marlins played their first game back after that tragedy. And beforehand, all the players were wearing the Jose Fernandez 16 jersey, and he took the first pitch batting right-handed, and then hit his first home run of the season.
How emotional was that?
Oh.
They're not just baseball machines, they're human. They are very human.
We were talking to Dave Van Horn earlier before the ball game about Jose Fernandez and just what that outgoing personality and what he meant to the team, the clubhouse, the community.
And remember, we didn't know him well, but we had a chance to meet him that one afternoon. He couldn't have been nicer, and he didn't know us from anybody.
We've had a chance to interview him a couple times over the years, and he's as affable and as available as any. And he's a star of the game, and one of the best pitchers in all of baseball. He had time for everyone.
Yeah. We're coming to the ballpark that Sunday, and after hearing the news when we got here.
Andrew McCutchen officially 1 for 2. Has walked twice. Singled his last time up. Mattingly would hate to have to go to the mound and call on Nick Whitgren this inning. But into right field, a base hit. They're loaded.
Well, it can be done. It's going to take a while, but it could be done.
McCutchen having some fun with D. Gordon. And Greg Gibson. Don Mattingly is making a pitching change. This would be an epic comeback. But thankfully, no clock in baseball. And Nick Whitgren comes on to face Jordy Mercer. Jake and Elwood Blues, the Blues Brothers.
I'm a soul man. They're soul men.
Is that Go Bucks tattooed on his fingers?
Gotta be.
Yep. Don Mattingly is not laughing, even though his club is leading 12-5. Look out there, Mr. Cora. Joey Cora, the Pirates' third base coach, who has been in the past big league coach for Ozzie Guillen with the Marlins and the White Sox. It's been a decent night for the offense, so Cora's been fairly busy, but pitching has been a disappointment for the Pirates tonight.
I think Ray Searage has been just as busy in his trips out to the mound.
Yeah. Line drive, base hit. Station to station. Whoop. Well, they're going to wave home bell. And it's a 2-run single for Mercer and still nobody out. 2-run single for Mercer.
See the spin on the breaking ball, and you see the line drive right back up through the middle. And another Marlin reliever throwing in the bullpen.
That's not just any reliever. That's their closer.
Is that Ramos?
Yeah. It's now 12-7. Still nobody out, and Stallings at the plate. A.J. Ramos, their closer.
Just saw Jake Elwood. How about Jake Stallings?
Yeah.
Jake and Elwood.
He's at the plate. He has 2 hits. Doubled in the 6th, the leadoff double. The Pirates couldn't move him from second base. Single to start the 8th and scored. Ellington's runs. He's given up 2 now and responsible for McCutchen at second.
Close.
Two and two.
That continues.
The Pirates had their greatest 9th inning comeback at PNC Park the first year of this yard, July 2001.
The plot thickens as the count goes full.
3 and 2.
You know,
walks can always help you come back.
Yeah, you don't need the home run because that settles everything down and they get a clean start. Just keep the ball, keep it kicking it down the street.
And a pop-up. This will be the first out on the 3-2 pitch. Stallings is retired. Brings up Phil Goslin. Goslin pinch hit in the 6th inning, flied to right, stayed in the game to play second and popped up his last time up. But back in July of 2001, July 28, 2001, the Pirates were down to their last out against the Astros. Bottom of the 9th inning here. They were trailing by 6 runs. And they scored 7 against Houston. An absolutely unforgettable, epic come from behind win. 9-8 final. Grand slam hit by Brian Giles against Astros closer Billy Wagner.
Billy the Kid, I remember. Can't forget that game.
Ball and 2 strikes on Goslin. Closer Ramos.
Watch out.
Here it was. First year at PNC Park, July 28, 2001. First game of a day-night doubleheader, and Brian Giles homers over the Clemente wall. I mean, imagine that. Down 6, 2 outs, nobody on. They came back to score 7 and beat the Astros.
First year of this ballpark. 2 people were sure that ball was out when it was hit. Billy Wagner and Brian Giles.
Now 3-2. A walk will do. Just get on base. Hand the baton to the next man.
And the worst case scenario is the more you can beat up their bullpen, you got 2 more games in this series to play.
True. This is going to be the 2nd out. In center now. Christian Yelich started out there. Bring up Adam Frazier. Dee Gordon and Andrew McCutchen chatting. Frazier 2 hits in 5 at-bats.
Nice to see Adam get it going a little bit. Wasn't too long ago that average was at 340.
Yep. Do a little bit of a dip. Well, a couple of strikes on him. He entered the game with 0 for 9. Doubled in the first. Last couple of weeks hitting just 143. Coming into this ball game. And bounces it to third, and that'll do it. So a little bit of a 9th inning rally, but it falls short. Tyler Moore, a 2-homer game, helping lead the offensive attack. Giancarlo Stanton, that blast off the top of the batter's eye. Dee Gordon was all over the place. 18 hits, and for the 2nd straight game, the Marlins win big over the Pirates. So again, the final score 12-7. The Marlins have won 11 of their last 15 ball games.
Yep, we need to clean up some pitching. We need to do it pretty quickly.
Go back to the studio, Paul and Teak.